Video game bang, video game bang, video game bang.
Video game.
Mega brand. Live from the sack, it's the livest. In fact, I'm putting rhymes on this track to put my guys on the map. Cause they giving you the latest on everything on your playlist. This bet the safest, from basements to greatness. Updates, geek news, tech talk, and reviews. They can summarize it so you ain't gotta breeze through. Listen once and you're forever fans. And I'm not saying it because their theme song features Mega Ran. Might think you fly, but ain't nice as my guys. Got eyes on the prize, so like and subscribe. We back in the booth. I think that they gon' eat this up. The ultimate source of all geek media. Other podcasts, they just don't match up. Need proof? You can check the archives and catch up. Stats off the chain, we have rearranged the game. It'll never be the same. Now it's time to feel the
bang. What is up, pizzas? Cory Vincent here. Video Game Bang is back in the building. And you know them coronavirus is back, baby. It's back. I don't know why I started there, but I just, this show's getting real. We just got to talk about the issues, all right?
Let's get real deep into the real truth.
This is no longer about video games. Video games are not important right now. We don't need video games in 2020. I think they should have canceled all the new console drops, and we just stay inside, wear our masks. And that's why we brought on our coronavirus expert, Kyle. Welcome to the show, man.
No, you can't do that. I don't. Oh my God.
Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Yeah. I look different. I've gotten younger. I gave up on the whole coronavirus thing and went to age reversing, and so I did that instead.
You're Benjamin Buttoning it.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, congratulations on your job. You announced it on Twitter this last week. I mean, just a couple appearances on Video Game Bang, and you got your dream job. So congratulations on that.
This was the true thing that really propelled me forward. Is they're like, oh, you were on Video Game. Oh, okay, yeah. Just we'll move you all on the process. We just skip all the interview stuff. Let's just get you some paperwork.
Tell us who you're working for and what you'll be doing at this amazing gaming company.
So yeah, it's at a company that previously I've had to be like, oh yeah, I really love these games. I grew up playing. I didn't, but I actually grew up playing games from Harmonix, who I'm working for.
Dang,
I grew up playing a lot of Rock Band, and Guitar Hero too. You gotta split it up. But yeah, so now I will be working with them in the near future. It's a contract gig, so it's not forever unless it turns out to be. But yeah, it's super exciting. I get to do some QA stuff. I'll be testing new stuff out.
Well, you just said forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. Curtis Fisher, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to talk about this thing called Video Game Bang.
Electric
great,
word
man.
Bang. That means So, how you been, man? You see you're back wearing all your Kingsguard swag. How far out are we? How are you feeling about 2K?
2K. It's 2K. I'm looking forward to the NBA 2K League season. I'm looking forward to that. But we got a while because that doesn't usually commence until after the NBA season, which now we know officially will start on a day before my birthday, December 22nd. So, I'm just excited. But the main thing is there's been a lot of movement in the 2K League, some additional trades and things like that. So as I saw more of my guys that I follow on 2K League, some of the friends of the show, start to discuss things, especially with the new console launches, which we'll be talking about in the next gen of 2K launching at the same time. I'm not a man for the holiday seasons, but I am a man for esports game seasons. So I'm getting in the mood, man. I'm getting in the mood.
All right. And then rounding out our panel of professionals this week, she is 2K's very own 2K Lexie on the show. How come you don't have 2K in your Twitter handle yet? When does that happen?
I should do that.
Lexie 2K.
Lexie 2K.
I just haven't done it. I don't know why, it's one of those
something
things.
to think
but thank
about.
you for that.
How's the world going? I got to give you guys props. I don't know if it was your idea or what, but I have no interest in playing PGA video games. I don't care for golf digitally or in real life, but I am all about Happy Gilmore And I saw you guys have like an ad campaign on social media with Shooter McGavin.
We do. Are
Hold on,
you
wait,
are you
Cory.
hyped about that?
Yeah.
Cory, you eat pieces of shit
Yeah,
for breakfast?
Nah, I eat pieces of shit. What's the basis? So
that was pretty exciting. Campaign. Get him.
That was super great. Was that you? It was you, right? Just take credit for it.
Yeah, that was me.
That's why you're the
No,
best.
that was
Entirely
the
your
entire
own idea.
team.
Don't you know
but
the
no,
social
there's-
media person decides everything that the team or the brand does?
There's a lot going on, and that was a pretty cool addition to that. We have a lot of stuff that's upcoming as well. Just make sure to follow all our accounts to see what's going on, especially for Battlegrounds and for UK PGA. So yeah, I can't say more than that. But you guys should follow and check them out and give us support.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Heck
And maybe
yeah.
I'll change my name.
To Lexie 2K.
I should. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I just haven't done it.
They don't just have people angrily tweeting at you whenever their game doesn't work. Like, fix your
No,
game, and it's like,
I already
okay, let me
have-
single-handedly fix the
No, I
code on
already
this
have
bug.
people doing that, so
that's
I'm used to it now.
That's the curse of social media. It's the thing I hate
Yeah.
about it. It's it happens. It's going rampant right now in the.
Oh, I bet,
in the
dude. I was-
Overwatch League community.
Yeah. All we can do
Bet
is
was
do the
blaming
best
you
we
for dropping
can.
Rascal, bro.
Oh yeah.
I will
everybody
tell
can-
you guys to just reach out to your community managers and your social media managers and say thank you, especially in this time of giving and the holidays are coming up. They will appreciate it. I'm just saying.
The social media person is usually bottom of the totem pole. Like the person actually doing the making each individual tweets as far as like the grand scope of the company. They have to deal with all the mistakes that everybody else makes. Like it falls into their lap. And so if you are a huge fan of like the Overwatch League or something, like what's happening now is that the social media people are becoming figures or personalities in the community. So they'll be tweeting like, "Oh, this is what I was thinking when I made that tweet," or or they'll be venting their frustrations. I had a couple incidents like that this last week. We posted. We got tagged. The SF Shock account got tagged by some rando Karen from the Bay Area who was a Trumper and was very, very adamant about the Shock. They said, "There's voter fraud happening in my city right now," and tagged a bunch of people she wanted to look into it. She tagged the FBI, everybody she could. And then for some reason, the SF Shock. So I just quote tweeted it. I was like, "All right, we'll do our best," like smiley face from my account. And then I got quote tweeted by some hater who said, "You see, I've said it before and I'll say it again. All the SF Shock fans are Trump supporters and they're not even trying to hide it."
What?
Oh my god.
Why would you have said it before? I've never tweeted anything in relation to, like, we've done like go vote stuff, which was important to do, but never ever would I ever bring politics into my company's Twitter account.
Yeah.
I don't even like tweets that say anything that says anybody's name who is an elected official.
Yeah.
You just don't do it. You can do it on your personal accounts or whatever, but this person lit us up, so I just had to put someone on blast recently.
It's just a funny thing, just like FBI San Francisco, the Justice Department, and then San Francisco's Overwatch team. Like, what?
I mean, I appreciate your faith in us in integrity, but no, we're not gonna be counting ballots for you or recounting
Like,
ballots.
we did not stuff the voting box to get Super MVP. Like,
those are the only things I care about is the esports awards right now.
Yeah.
All the other voting is done for the year. I don't care about it. So just be nice on social media to social media managers as well. It feels nice when you get those tweets that say, "Give the social media manager a raise," or "Good job, social media person." Those are acceptable, but screaming at us because your favorite player got traded is not the move. Which we had to do a couple of those for the SF Shock. That was pretty interesting. Our team has had a pillar of our squad. His name is Moth. He's a main support player, and he went his separate way, and we put out like the statement thing, and everyone it's weird. Esports is different than traditional sports in the fact that people really, really love the players more than the brand.
That is always the super interesting part.
Like Curtis, it doesn't matter who they pick up or trade. I don't see you leaving the Sacramento Kings for any player who's been here any duration of time, no matter how many championships you've won. But in esports, it's really, really common, and I have no clue why.
I'm pretty sure it's because of streaming and like the individual personalities that they're able to do. Like I was a Surefour fan from Cloud9, then to LA Gladiators, then to Toronto Defiant. So like you kind of just follow an individual player from before that because you get to know them so like directly. Like you get to chat with them like every day or whatever. You're like if you're like a subscriber and they know you, you know them. Like you can just talk to the same dude over and over, and like you feel like you're friends with them, and so you'll follow them wherever because it doesn't seem like the geolocation is quite as ingrained just yet. Like I think we're starting to see like inklings of that. Like some people are like, I'm going to support my local team. Yeah. But like there's still so many like.
Well, COVID really kicked us in the teeth. Like we lost. It feels like we lost a year's progress in that respect because we were putting so much time into these watch parties and events, and we didn't have one watch party the whole last season, which is kind of depressing. Yeah, when we thought about it.
I had my tickets to go to one of the games, man. I was so hyped for that. I'm like, oh, we finally get to see like what this is like. I finally get to see like a game in person. I don't think I'd ever gone to like a top level esports event in my life. I'm like, this is my first one. It's gonna be huge. Like all the matches are great, and like boom, canceled. Like, oh god damn it.
It hurt. It hurt, especially knowing what was planned for everybody. So before I get too depressed, we got some news to talk about, everybody. The next generation of consoles is no longer the next generation. We are in current gen phase. So let's eliminate that phase. We are current gen. The PlayStation 5 has launched. The Xbox has launched. And the first thing that happened was, and I don't even know where people get the creativity, stupidity, you could call it whatever you want, but people started leaking or posting photos online of just billowing white clouds of smoke coming out of Xboxes. And it turns out with some investigation that it was just people blowing vape smoke into their consoles. Did anybody else see this?
That's super good for the hardware.
Why?
I think that's like delving, like jumping on to the to the hashtag. Like, okay, well, we know Xbox Series X is trending. Let's see if we can make an elaborate ruse that it's all faulty and it's gonna blow up or whatever. I don't know.
Who's doing this, Curtis?
Idiots. You know,
idiots with $1,000 to spare. Like,
yeah, or ones that don't realize that they're about to be out. $400 to $500. Yeah, idiots, man. I mean, it is such a documented and well-known fact that you don't have, so you like even cigarette smoke or any of that stuff, you don't have it around your electronics. You don't do it around your electronics. For me, it was especially, a very real reality. Someone growing up and spending a lot of time in music studios, that was just like a big thing. Or even on Craigslist, like, smoke-free studio or smoke-free home and electronics. It's just a well-known thing. But you cannot discount the stupidity of people in the world, especially ones who want to clout chase or be idiots on social media. So, yeah, Corey, people were vaping and blowing smoke through the top. All for likes. And you know what? For people that do that, I usually don't wish ill on people, but I hope it breaks. I hope it stops working, and I hope they void their warning.
And I hope you burn in hell.
Yes, they deserve to fry, and I hope they burn in hell. Yeah.
They came out with a tweet. Xbox, of course, they have a genius social media team currently. They just are constantly whipping out bangers, but they put a tweet out that said, "We can't believe we have to say this, but please don't blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X." Signed, Xbox Twitter. How do you rate that response, Lexie?
I mean, I thought that was brilliant. I was like, that's great. First of all, that is a PR disaster because first of all, you do this the day or the second day after the launch. And this is all you see on social media. So everybody's already hyped to get these systems. And then you're like, what's going on? That grandma that was going to go out and get her grandson a system probably was like, oh, baby, you can't have this system this year because
it's going to catch on fire.
Exactly. But she doesn't know that there's idiots out there making it look that way. You know what I mean? So it was just a PR disaster, I felt. But I felt like Xbox handled it really well.
I
For
saw
what
some,
it was, you know, and they were like shaking it off, like,
Yeah.
okay, like y'all are stupid, basically. Like let's just say, you know, what we need to say and move on with our lives.
I saw some conspiracy theories on my Parler account that it was PlayStation employees doing this to try and make Xbox look bad, so the sales of PlayStation 5s would go up.
Of course, they would say something like that.
You know,
but this is the thing. I've seen so much like togetherness from this, like from PlayStation and Xbox. Everybody on Xbox congratulating PlayStation, everybody on PlayStation congratulating Xbox, and so forth. So to me, I'm just like, y'all lying too much. Like all these people who are trying to make stories and like trying to make people fight against each other. Like we need some good in the world, and it's actually like really nice. Like everybody's coming together. Just let it be. Like.
I don't think it was authentic. I think those were just impression grabs.
Yeah.
Oh, what? One company thanking the other one? No, why would that ever happen? It's just one of those things. One thing that needs to stop is people taking selfies with their new consoles. I would appreciate that. And I think a lot of the people who are stuck in the cold trying to get their consoles that, you know, got screwed in the by bots, basically, every verified account that was given a console, like now you're just rubbing it in people's faces. You need to chill with that kind of stuff. I swear, I make that the Cory promise that if and when I get my PlayStation 5, I'm not going to take a dopey selfie with it. You look like an idiot. Yeah, there you go. Other thing, sorry, it got personal there for a minute. I just really feel strongly about these selfies. PlayStation also launched, just came out. That one was yesterday, right? What was that?
A day or two ago, yeah.
Yeah, and
like either the 11th or 12th.
It looks like they're having some actual supply issues. Is the issue? The consoles are working fine, but the supply is not meeting the demand. I saw it was basically a mad dash. You got people scalping these things for thousands of dollars. You have bots, people who employ bots just to win a bunch, and it's a rigged system that we're living in. It's fraudulent, I would say. How do we fix this issue? Is this done purposefully, or is there a better way?
I mean, I feel like isn't it technically illegal to scalp like any product? I guess maybe it's like, because I remember there was an issue with like people doing that for toilet paper, and like March, April. Where like people would buy out and then like sell it out of their own garage because they're like trying to make a buck and like take advantage of a trend. Yeah. Like, first off, I'm pretty sure if it is illegal, it should be. I mean, there's people literally posting on Twitter like, "Hey, I've got to wear like a storage room filled with PlayStations." Like,
I don't know the legality of it. Like that is an interesting question because how do you? Are you saying we persecute everybody? Like we send cops to people's houses?
I mean,
like if they
people who are buying out and then reselling, I'm pretty sure that's against like the terms of use of service and stuff, is like purchasing and reselling like consoles. I'm pretty sure. I don't know though. I legit went to 0 seconds of any law school whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure there is some legality issues there. But also, like, I like just shaming them on the internet. That's really nice too. I've seen some good some subtweets and retweets of people being dumb and doing stuff like that. Like I don't like, because like the distributors, they can't really handle, maybe they can do one per customer, but like if you're ordering online, I don't know how you do that. Like I don't know.
I think it's intentional. It's got to be intentional. It creates more hype. They clearly got tons of these boxes. I swear everybody on my Twitter account with a check mark was sent a free Xbox or PlayStation or both. It just seems like they were really frivolous with these things. Like for the amount, they didn't need to do that. People are going to buy the consoles regardless of some dude with 10,000 followers, you know, posting his dopey selfie. Like, I don't know why they did that. That's so many more thousands of consoles that could have been sold on the market to me.
That always not even that, like Taco Bell too. Like that whole contest, usually it's very like sparse. Like you'll see one or two people saying like, "Oh, I won an Xbox from Taco Bell," like here and there. But this year it was like every single, like essentially if you went, you basically might have won an Xbox. And like I like back in the day, like I used to do the Taco Bell thing and I would never win anything. And then this year I was like, man, so many people are winning Xboxes. So I feel like they were very like gracious with like them handing them out, but also to your point, like on the end of all the blue check marks, because I noticed that too. Like I feel like they should have like backed it up and like picked a certain amount, or like whoever they wanted to pick. I felt like it would have made a more impact on like as far as the reviews and stuff goes if they didn't pick as many people. And I saw like afterwards they had like that specialty made Xbox that they sent out to certain people. Like even if that was like after the fact, like they told them like, hey, you guys share this after like the launch or the launch day. But like I feel like leading up to it, it shouldn't have been as many people like sharing it like that. So the impact would have been better.
Anybody in here actually have a current gen console? Are we all retro gamers now?
We're all left behind in the dust. I have literally everything of the previous gen. Nothing from. I don't even know if I'll get an Xbox this go around, unless I have a really good reason to. But so far, not really. Like
Skip,
do PlayStation.
Skip's got to wait for the 2K season to come back so he could win one off of their Twitter contests like he was raking up last season. But beyond that, is there any other goals or plans to go current gen? Oh, you muted yourself. I think you're muted. Well, while he's doing that, I got an opportunity to maybe get a new PlayStation, and I was really on the fence because I wasn't planning on getting a next-gen console. I really wasn't planning on it. I was thinking, especially the Xbox. There's no way you couldn't convince me to get it. No one can convince me to get an Xbox right now. But the PlayStation 5 is a little iffy. And I had a buddy text me kind of out of the blue, because he was also in that rat race of trying to get approved for or trying to get one in his account. He ended up accidentally getting two, and he was either going to cancel or just kind of poll his buddies to see who wanted one. And I was on the fence, so I took to Twitter, and I just said, hey, guys, listen, Twitter family, all, thousands and thousands and thousands of my followers, were very invested in which console I was going to get. So I asked them, should I do this if I had an opportunity? And like in a 95 to 5%, it was a yes, which at that point really swayed me. I'm not going to lie. This is the one time in my life I was swayed by a Twitter poll to actually do this, but I think I'm going to do it. But I want your guys' opinions at this point.
Oh my God.
I'm willing to throw out the thousands and thousands.
I want to know your pros and cons. I want to know your pros and cons. Like if you get it, what does it mean to you? And if you don't.
So that's good. That's fair. Pro, Miles Morales video game. I was going to get that anyways, probably. Pro, it'll be at retail. So it's not like I have to pay like scalpers prices. Pro, I don't know. Cons, money.
Wait. What? You can't not say a last pro and just say, I don't know. Like, what was that? This is a deep discussion, Corey. If you're going to bring it to us, we need to know all the details. We're going to get
really deep in the details here. Flesh this out.
Well, it's a lot. Look, $600 is a lot of bread, and I have a perfectly good PlayStation 4 that I do not use. Like I bought it to play the Spider-Man game, the last one, and I had a lot of fun.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I beat that game, and then I use it at like birthday parties and stuff like that, social gatherings, events. I tried to play my Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny DVD the other day, and it wouldn't even play. So like I kind of don't even know the reason we have next gen consoles. They won't even play DVDs. So I don't know. I feel like I could take this $600 and spend it on a record player. I could buy the new iPhone with it. I could, feed it to my baby. Like there's tons of stuff I could do. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, the question is like, why do you, like, I always wonder this, like, why do people need to have it right now? And like, why would you pay, like, especially with like the whole scalping discussion, like, why would you pay like 500 or like double price for a console just to have it sooner rather than later? I always found that to be the most fascinating idea. Like, I'm not saying like, okay, wait like 5 years until you can get one at a Goodwill, but like wait until it's like moderately available. I guess like if you're only paying retail and it's like super easy, there's no reason not to, I guess, if you are planning on buying it and picking it up, because then you probably have a higher chance of actually playing the game if it's still like there's still like the hype around it and like everyone else is playing it, so you're not like feeling, I don't know.
I was looking around the studio and figuring a way, because right now the biggest obstacle for console gaming for me is the I've played on PC so much, and the really good refresh rate and being like intimate and close with your monitor, like when you're playing, like I love that experience a lot more than I do sitting like 10 feet away, because I live in a mansion, from the TV. You know, like there's this huge disconnect with a little tiny controller, and I really prefer the. So I'm trying to figure out, if I get this thing, where can I put it in the studio? I'm going to need like a 30-foot HDMI cable to run it around this thing, because I'm not going to let cut cables on the floor. I'm
saying what you got to do is like, I have a PlayStation 4 to my left, so it's like literally a monitor stand for my other monitor, and I'm using that so you can plug it into your other monitor and run sound out through speakers or headphones or whatever. Because then you get, first off, like the new ones can actually handle a higher refresh rate. So I think that like if you can throw it into your like PC monitor, if you got like 144 or 240 or whatever,
yeah, and
like you don't have to do the TV thing. I hate the TV thing, because most like the TV I have is it's like delay and you're super far from it and stuff, and like you have to deal with like all sorts of other issues. Like, okay, you're playing you're playing Xbox in the living room, then someone's got to make some food or something, so you're banging and dishes and the dishwasher's going and like the cat's jumping on you, and like you can't just be in your zone. So if you can find a way to do it in your space, I'm always you just got to do it in your space, man.
Skip, what do I do, man?
Get the damn console. I was gonna save everybody a lot of time and tell everybody Cory ain't gonna play it. He gonna be on his PC. He ain't gonna play it. I could have saved everybody. I mean, you know, it's good for the show. You know what I'm saying? We had some discussion. But we all know the truth. Cory ain't gonna play that damn thing. He gonna get it because he can, because it's available. And he gonna do what he shamed everybody else for doing. He gonna take some selfies with it. And then that's it. And that thing gonna collect dust.
I'm gonna.
This is my thing. Are you gonna? If you get the place, like, will you get the investment out of buying it? Is my thing. Look at Curtis is like, heck
you
no.
just ignored everything I just said.
I heard you. I'm trying to help out Cory. I'm trying to be fair. So Cory, how many games on the PlayStation would you play? Like, what is your top 5 or 10 game or 5 games that have like 40 hours each that you'll get this investment back out of your PlayStation? You like, what is your
way to think about it?
Because if you're only worried about one game, like, okay, why not wait? Unless I know the hype, like,
there's no
other than that, like,
looking at these launch titles, Call of Duty, no, because I'll get that on PC and play it at full frames. So that one's not even close. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I would. And because I'm a T-Mobile customer, the T-Mobile Tuesday deal was $10 off the game. So I kind of got that in my the back of my head. Spider-Man Miles Morales, easily the #1 game that I would get and just play through immediately. I don't care about Demon's Souls. I don't give a shit about Sackboy. Gran Turismo 7, no thank you. Returnal, boring. Watch Dogs Legion, I'll just buy it on PC next year when it's $10. Like,
and you're gonna do the same thing with Cyberpunk. You're gonna get it on PC.
Yeah, exactly. Cyberpunk. Well,
so
yeah,
okay. So here we go. Like, then why are you trying to get a $600 PlayStation when you're only gonna play one game on it for the next 2 years?
Because thousands and thousands of Twitter followers told me to. I don't know. It feels like so many people.
Well, here's my other thing, Cory. Are you a leader or are you a follower?
Oh, you guys already know I'm a follower. I don't even know why you bring that up. your guys' thing. I got some soul searching to do. I'll figure it out. I appreciate your guys' feedback. I think I would use it if I get this thing. I've been looking around the studio, and I'm gonna put it like right here. I do kind of want to upgrade my record player though, so that's kind of the big holdup. Is I don't feel like I can, in good conscience, do both. I'd feel like.
Did you buy a new TV yet?
Yeah, I did. I did replace that TV.
That was my question. Like, if you have a new TV, then maybe. If you haven't fixed the new TV, do the TV.
Yeah, the one that got busted at the Christmas party when I raged. Yeah, no. So yeah, I replaced that during Christmas time or something when the TVs were super cheap.
For sure.
All right. So what else do we got in the news? Here's a big one. Hits closer to home. If you guys follow the esports scene, you should be aware of the team OpTic Gaming. It was a Call of Duty squad. They are legendary organization.
Green Wall.
Some stuff. Yeah, the Green Wall, man. Stuff went down, and the owner, dude named Hector. He is also the co-CEO of the company I work for, Energy Esports. And he had some, I'm going to butcher the telling of the story, but either way, you guys could look it up. He ended up selling or, become off part of the company to Immortals. And then there was some dealings that didn't make both parties feel comfortable. Hex ended up departing, leaving the OpTic brand behind. And that's not how brands work in esports. As we kind of talked about earlier, people aren't just going to, follow the soulless shell that was OpTic Gaming. They followed Hector to his next endeavor, which ended up being the Chicago Huntsmen in the Call of Duty League and Energy Esports. It was like the NRG Green Wall, they called it. And that was fun. And it was kind of sad because it was a 3 million follower account that went to a Call of Duty League team that anytime they posted anything, half the comments were, "This is fake. Phony," and you feel bad for them. I think eventually that war on them, there's a lot of people going back and forth on franchise localized leagues anyways, and they ended up through a bunch of sales and contracts, confusing stuff. Anyways, they ended up selling the brand, the LA OpTic, back to Hector, who flipped it to Nadeshot, that brought 100 Thieves into the Call of Duty League, which is a big deal if you guys know who 100 Thieves are. Obviously, it's like a big homecoming thing. And then Hector was then able to take his OpTic Gaming brand account back and rebrand the Chicago Huntsmen to the OpTic Chicago. Insane story. One of the best, I think, that has ever happened in esports, and it's just like starting a new chapter. I'd never seen or been a part of anything that was quite this big of news. I don't know if you were able to, what it looked like from your guys' perspective. Maybe Kyle could shed some light on what he knows of the situation.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I know a bit more detail on what happened with Hex and OpTic initially. Like, he sold majority shares of the company to like another parent company who then also owned the Outlaws, and then they just like horrendously mismanaged the whole everything and let like all of like the brand that he built from like basically the ground up, let it die in a sad way. And then he basically like having him not be able to have his brand anymore just because of some weird business like politic crap, that sucks. And then having it go back to him I think is super good. And like it always felt weird that Immortals owned OpTic, and like they had the opportunity to have their own brand but didn't. And it seems like now Immortals is trying to offload all of their teams. Like, they offloaded the COD spot, now they're offloading their Overwatch League spot allegedly.
Yeah,
like I think there's some weird stuff happening with Immortals. Like, they're maybe also looking to cut costs because they aren't doing business as well as they thought they were or whatever. But it's weird that like in the shenanigans of another company screwing things up, like at least one thing got to go back to the way things were. I think most people are happy with Hex having the ownership of it again.
It was it's awesome. Like, we're a small team, but we're, cranking away on different projects. Like, obviously I do a lot of the San Francisco Shock stuff in Overwatch League, so my crossover and familiarity with the exact details of the OpTic thing was crazy. Like, I kind of just found out the morning of, like, as everybody else was, so I got to be exciting. Knowing Hex as the entertainment entertainerpreneur, as he calls it, launched this brand, this big announcement with a new merch line. And that's the power of the Green Wall and Hector and his genius, was that when he puts out this thing, he goes, there's a link there that goes to a website with a sweater, a hat, a t-shirt, and something else. No designs, has an X through it. You just like, trust me, there's going to be a Founders Edition thing, pre-order, buy now. I insta-copped because just out of the excitement and everything. Like, I came into the industry as an energy guy. Like, I knew of other brands. I knew, of course, of OpTic and Dignitas and like some of the in Cloud9, the big ones. But when I joined, I was super loyal. Like, I didn't look at anybody with any kind of thing. But, as I've gotten to work with Hex and see how he responds to situations, and I listen to he has a podcast with Andy, the two CEOs, called the Duo Podcast. And man, it's one of the most informative podcasts for esports business I could have ever imagined. Two people on the cutting edge of esports for the past decade, in a podcast together, just really sometimes I listen to it with like shaking because I feel like they can leak something at any minute because they're always like so topical. Super good plug for them. I hope they do it for us someday, but after you listen to this one, go listen to that show. But anyways, I insta-copped a sweater and a hat and everything just out of excitement. And you just know it's going to be good. Like, there's very few brands out there where you just know whatever they're going to do, it's going to be good. I dominated that one, so I need to like stop talking.
It's a very you topic though. I mean, like, that's fair. Like,
I feel bad. What else we got on the docket? What was one of the next ones?
Dude, so this Twitch thing though, like, this is the one that like,
oh yeah,
I'm not a streamer, but boy, do I follow a lot of streamers. I have a lot of friends who are streamers, and like, you can feel the atmosphere right now. And like, glitchcon is literally tomorrow, which is their like online TwitchCon thing. And literally the last 2 months has been, first off, every streamer who is anyone basically has gotten a DMCA for a violation, meaning that they have utilized copyrighted material that they did not own rights to or whatever. Basically, everyone just plays music on their stream.
Yeah.
Had to kill all of their VODs after they had like months. Like, Twitch was sitting on the info for legitimately months, and they gave them, I think it was like 2 days or something. It was a ridiculously short amount of time. And then so like, people are freaking out because they lost, years and years worth of VODs that they had saved. And then also, now that there's debate about like, okay, well, what about music in a game? So if I play 2K, right, they have the license to all these great songs. What if I play Skyrim and I have the Skyrim music? Like, they're like, oh, you should probably check the terms of service and terms of use and read through those. I'm like, okay.
Wait, what's the new rule? Because I've seen a lot of this too. I've seen a lot of streamers like complaining about it.
There's no new rule.
So is the rule
no
like
rule.
you can't?
It's been a rule forever.
I don't know like trying to figure out my streaming and stuff. What's the new thing that's like making everybody like?
So
is it essentially like YouTube? Like, there's certain licensing and you can only use certain music, or?
Yeah. So no individual person has the rights to stream to other people a copyrighted material. Generally music and stuff like that. Streaming a game is almost always, unless of very rare circumstances, is not allowed and encouraged. But music is a whole different world. And so anyone who plays music is technically violating the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And Twitch has just been not looked at. Like, no one had focused on that. They kind of just like let it go, knowing that was a thing. YouTube had to deal with that years ago, and that's why they demonetize all sorts of videos that have music in it or whatever. But now Twitch is having their issue with it. But I think people are like, I mean, like, there's no new rules. It's always been the rule, but now they actually have to enforce that because the license owners and labels and stuff are like, yo, why is all of this content being played on your platform without permission and rights and stuff like that? But then the latest thing that has people really freaking out, because it seems like, okay, well, what the heck am I going to do now? Is they're like, with the playing of actual in-game music, like not I'm playing a Spotify playlist, like no, like I'm listening to the music that is in the game.
Like
and so like
playing Tony Hawk, more soundtracks,
yeah, exactly.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like the risk is that gets flagged, even though it's literally the music in your game. That has some people freaking out, and Twitch is already like kind of pissing a bunch of people off because they have mid-roll and pre-roll ads all the time. So anytime I open a new stream, I have to watch a 30-second ad. God forbid I'm trying to catch an esports match with like, yo, this match is in overtime. Like, oh, it's the damn 5 Gum commercial again. Like, I don't know who that girl is, but like, I hate the fact that I don't want to ever watch your stream because I only see that freaking Gum commercial every time. But like Twitch is really, really kind of shooting themselves in the foot with like the way that they're handling it. It seems like.
So like, how are people gonna like? I've seen streamers who have like music going on, and it's like, they're chatting or whatever. So am I supposed to be just silent?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
legally speaking,
so
yes.
So this is how it is. Just crickets. Like, how are you doing today?
You can get there are resources becoming available from, people who have access to large libraries of like royalty free music. So while you can't play, actual music, it's real music. There's real people making it, but it's not like
Travis Scott or it's not the Beatles or it's not whatever.
So it's kind of a bummer. And Twitch is it's Amazon. They got resources. They got Amazon Music. I would think there got to be some sort of something in the works. Maybe this is all just like, for now, keep it calm and we're coming up with a solution. Because
I just don't understand the game part about it. That just doesn't make sense. That's the whole point of Twitch. Like you're streaming the games on Twitch, and you don't want your audience to not hear. So all you're gonna hear is like the experience of hearing the characters' voices. You're not gonna hear like the atmosphere or like music that goes along with that. Like that's not right.
So like I'm deep in like the music world, which is like I took a class on music legalities and stuff like that. So like I know a little bit about it, but like one of the things that's happening too is like I forget what the song is, but there was the TikTok with the Fleetwood Mac song, the guy on the longboard with the cranberry juice, whatever that song was.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It was Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. So that song recharted because of a TikTok. Yeah. Because it was streamed so many times, it's now recharted, and now the ownership, I forget whoever the girl singer is, like she owns the rights to it and gave rights to people to listen to it.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. So she gave she's got an open license.
Did you just refer to Stevie Nicks as the girl who owns the song?
Well, so the songwriting is broken up in Fleetwood Mac. Like different people own different songs.
No, but she's not the girl. It's
I
Stevie
couldn't think
Nicks.
of her name.
You curmudgeon.
I don't listen to Fleetwood Mac that much. But my point is,
she's a woman at the very least.
A woman, yes, you're right. But she has a looser license on the material as the songwriter than I think Mick Fleetwood or one of the other band members has on the songs that they wrote. They have a stricter, and they like will flag people for any time they use their song in anything, and their song isn't charting. But the one that Stevie Nicks has, and she has the license to it, and she's like, play it, whatever you want to do. Now her song is recharting. She's making way more money than she ever had. In the last 20 years.
Well, I still don't know.
In the last 20 years.
Do you know who Stevie Nicks is, bro?
I do know who Stevie Nicks is.
Why are you talking about her like she works at a Walmart, or like she's like she's a legend? Like this is a rock and roll icon.
My point is that when you loosen the license and allow for more usage of your materials, you allow yourself to have your music be rediscovered.
No, I
in
get
other
the point.
ways.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But you're like the guy. You remember when Kanye did that song with Paul McCartney, and all the comments were like, "Oh, it's so sweet of Kanye to
Paul
give
McCartney
this."
guy about to blow up.
Yeah, that's Paul McCartney guy's pretty good. That's what you sound like right now with Stevie Nicks. I hope.
Cory is getting you about the Stevie Nicks.
I legit.
I didn't even know Cory liked Fleetwood Mac.
I don't. I hate them.
Name.
You hate Fleetwood Mac? Why am I here?
They got like, I mean, I don't even really fancy them that much. I throw them in the same category as I throw the Eagles, and I don't like them either. So,
That's completely different. What?
they're the same band.
But also,
Oh my god.
The Eagles are also terrible about their licenses as well. They take down any video that anyone remotely references or like does, even if you do like a cover of an Eagles song, they're like, "Nah, take it down."
Yeah.
Like, and now the Eagles are very likely going to get lost to the realm as soon as the boomer generation dies off. The Eagles are going to die off with them because they didn't allow their music to be played in the TikToks or the video game streams or anything like that. And it's just
well, I don't think they'll have too much of a problem with that, being that they'll be dead and all. But but I get your point though. Their estate, whoever owns their estate probably would care. But I mean, here, as someone, same thing. I have a lot of experience with music licensing in law, and especially as someone who got ripped off.
I've heard it. I know.
Yeah,
we're not even going to give them. We're not even going to give them the light of day on this podcast, Curtis.
Not even going to say their name.
We're not naming names.
No, but the biggest thing is, it really comes down to this. As Kyle, who makes a creation of something, a work of art, whatever it is, a video, audio recording, a painting, a photograph that you took, whatever. With you being the person that created that, whatever happens with that work, it should be up to you and nobody else what happens with it. And if you don't get to make the choice on it and someone else makes the choice for you, well, then your rights just got violated. And that's ultimately how it works. Now, you could be that person, like there's a nice artist that I like called The Midnight. He's like kind of one of those synthwave dudes. He went ahead and put it out on the internet. Hey, guys, don't worry about it. Anybody who wants to use my music for streaming or whatever, you can completely do that. I'm not putting it in the algorithm to flag any of your stuff. Mm-hmm. Because
T-Pain
to your
did
point,
that too, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Teddy. Well, T-Pain. But to your point, those are the people that they see the value in what you're talking about. Hey, let's just let people get it out, and then through that, people could get interested and maybe go buy another song, or maybe still buy that song or whatever. But it's such a big thing, and it's so rampant that it really is hard to. Especially if you are a larger artist and a larger artist who you don't even own your music, this company who put up all the money to pay for the recordings for your music, you signed a contract saying that they own it, so they get to choose the license. That's how they make their bread and butter as a conglomerate, as a media conglomerate or whatever. So they are a lot tighter on that stuff. Yeah. And and the fact of the matter, this is what it comes down to, because I see both sides and I get it. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing with the people that make the streams. If someone started going and grabbing your streams and they were profiting off of it, and you didn't have a say in that, and you didn't find out till way later, as a streamer, as a content creator, same thing. You may take issue with that because it's your heart. It's all those hours of hard work that you put into that to profit off of it, to gain. And someone else is going and gaining off of it, and you don't even get to, discuss it with them, say, hey, that's cool, or say, hey, I would like a cut, you know what I mean? Because I'm struggling and I'm trying to pay for some bills or trying to pay off some student loans or all that stuff. So that's ultimately what it comes down to. And it's been like this for a long time. Before, they were just muting it, but people were gaining off of other people's music without their permission. And fact of the matter is, you like, Lexie was saying, like, oh yeah, that's weird, that's awkward. And you're right, it is weird and it is awkward, but it's not like, it's up to the person that's up there entertaining people with gameplay or with conversation. It's up to them to find a way to be entertaining without violating someone else's rights, regardless of how awkward it gets. That's just the reality of it. I've gone through lengths. I have, I play some, anytime this comes up and I feel like things are getting dicey again, because I jump back and forth just to be transparent, but I have music that I've made that I can play at any time. I've got a bunch of beats from my cousin who he doesn't have any samples. He creates all of his own samples, same thing. So that's royalty free for him. So I've got a bunch of that stuff, because every time you're going to come into this and things are going to get tight, But you should hope, though, as a content creator and a streamer, that the reason that people are coming aren't because you're playing little news, songs and whatnot. You should hope that people are coming for you. And if you take one element of your stream out that you never owned in the first place, and all of a sudden you're not as entertaining as you used to be, that might be a reason to do some soul searching and find out what you need to do to get back on top and to be entertaining.
What about, like, as far as music, like, streamers who do covers and stuff, will that be cut out now? You know what I mean? Because that's a hard, like, question. Because what about people who play, like,
it's the same thing for them. Now, there is some things regarding parody and regarding covers, but it gets even trickier, because ultimately what that stuff comes down to, like, tons of people say tons of different things, and I've seen it all before. Ultimately what it comes down to is the original rights owner's discretion. If they come across it, and even if it passed the algorithm, because you played it a little slower and you played it even in a different key, so the algorithm didn't catch it. But if that artist comes around to catching it, let's say it gets big because you did a real big cover and it starts to go viral online, same thing. The artist could still come back at you for whatever you gained during that stream or whatever ad cents or revenue. Any of that, it ultimately comes back to that. So then it's like, well, then what are they supposed to do? Play your own original songs. Most of those people should be songwriters and whatnot. Sit up there and play. I watched a bunch of people that, like, they kind of that's what they do. They'll sit up there and they'll jam. So it's just like a bunch of their, like, own material and whatnot, and or it's like freestyling. You gotta come up with stuff on the spot, but again, it just kind of tests you. And above all that, it keeps you in the clear, so you never have to worry about that. You get up there, you be entertaining, and you make all your money, and you get your little, PayPal drop or Venmo. I forgot which one they use these days. And then when you get that, you don't owe nobody no cheese. That goes all to your pocket. So that's the most important thing. And as far as, like, music in a video game, the licenses that we comply with or that we agree to when we purchase the game that are in there, all that little fine print, it's a license for us to listen to the music. It's a license for us, but it's not a license for performance, again, because that'd be gain at there. So like a lot of people,
or whatever. Yeah,
exactly. So like a lot of people, you just got to turn down the in-game music inside of it. You know what I mean? And again, fill it with whatever, because the algorithm will read the same. Algorithm can't tell if you're playing music from your Spotify playlist or if you're playing music from the game. Like it don't know. It's just like, I hear that music coming from your stream, so it's got to be on top of it.
I think it's like the old battle when Napster was around, and Lars Ulrich from Metallica like led the charge on shutting it down. Yeah. It's the same thing legally and even morally. They're right. Like the DMCA and all that, and Lars, they're right. I still think Lars is a dick, and I still am pissed that it happened. I would love to hop on Napster and download all the music I want selfishly, but it isn't right. And ultimately, the right thing to do is probably start looking towards those artists. Like, there's an opportunity for artists who are already established, as Kyle had said, to make their library available. And then there's also tons of growth opportunities for all those mid-tier aspiring musicians out there who may get discovered off of making themselves available from a new platform or something that doesn't exist yet. I think Twitch, if they could do something right now, they would. Like Kyle kind of hit me with a smack me in the face when he was talking about everyone deleting their VODs. And I knew people were doing that, but what I didn't think was Twitch in far of streaming is number one, undefeated. But when it comes to just media consumed, YouTube dwarfs Twitch in just video VOD watches, and they're doing streaming. So if I am a huge Sinatra fan and he loves playing rap music, but I love Sinatra and I want to go watch his highlights, I can't watch those highlights on Twitch anymore. Twitch is telling you to delete content off of their platform, which is something nobody wants. Like, they don't want that. That hurts them, because now if I want to watch any highlights, I got to go to their biggest competitor who has different rules and plays by a different rule book. And now I can do that. So they're not doing this because they want to. They're doing it because they see larger issues at hand and they're scrambling for something to do.
I mean, it's always been illegal or against copyright to play music that you don't own the rights to. It's always been, but now, like, I mean, every music recording label is like getting so desperate because they are making so much less money now that all music is being streamed and distributed that way. Like they're not making CD sales anymore. Touring is also gone too. So like they're on a shoestring budget. They need to make money anywhere they can. And they see like, oh, this like, you know, what top 10 largest platforms or websites on the internet is filled with people utilizing music that they don't own rights to and making money off of that. Like, there's a way to get some money back, or you know,
time to innovate.
And let's remember, it's not just the streamers that are making money. Twitch takes their cut, so Twitch is profiting off of those record labels' music being played. Twitch is taking a cut too. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like Twitch is in a position where they could get sued massively. You know, Amazon, and everybody knows Amazon got a lot of money, so it really, really is one of those things. But I kind of something happened even before it got this bad. Back kind of when it was in like that second wave, you know, like a few months ago or whatever, or actually I guess September. Remember that they introduced Soundtrack. So it was introducing Soundtrack by Twitch. Rights cleared music for all Twitch creators. This is September 30th, where they had put out that press release, and though it was still in beta. It's not like Twitch was sitting on their hands while this stuff was happening. They had done things. It's just that,
right?
You know, we got to realize the flip side of it is you have so many creators, and especially entitled ones. It's just like, even if they fixed everything else and they cleared all their vibes, they're like, but I want to play the music that I want to play. Twitch, why can't you just figure it out? Woo, 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 woo. Well, they have this thing, but people just don't want to use it. They want to be able to do what they want to do the way that they used to do it. So they've kind of gotten a little spoiled, and part of that is Twitch's fault for not enforcing it as strongly as they should have been.
So another possible...
I'm surprised they didn't enforce it earlier.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't enforce it until they had to enforce it, is what I'm understanding here. Is like they didn't, because they were making money off it. They had no reason otherwise. It was until the labels, I think it's especially the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, which is like specifically the group that represents all of the labels and recording artists, stuff like that. Then they put the pressure onto Twitch. The Twitch had to actually do something.
Yeah.
But something kind of a comparison is that they do watch parties via like Amazon Prime, which is something that I think is a possible opportunity of like a way to mitigate the issue. Is what that does is you're not individually streaming one thing to many people, but instead if you like, okay, well, let's all listen to this music together on our own platforms or whatever, then like as long as you can sync up or whatever, then you have like it's just normally streaming and you're not like funneling all the money in through one person. Instead, each individual person is streaming it on their own platform, which would then satisfy this requirement. So like that is a possible option, is like do a Spotify listening party or whatever it's called, and like all listen to the same playlist if you care so much like to listen to music together. But yeah, like I appreciate what you said here, is like if your stream dies because you can't play other people's music, you are not a good streamer.
Yeah,
that's just a definitive truth.
For to address.
But what about like Just Dance and Dance Central and like Rocksmith and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole nother issue, because those are music games, and they get that talent on purpose for the game. So like, how does that work? Because I know a few streamers that are huge because of like Just Dance, Dance Central, like that's their niche and that's what they stream and that's what they do on Twitch. So what happens to them now? Like, I can't just turn off the music and start doing my moves.
Gotta find another game.
Harmonix literally launched a game this week. It's like a DJing game called Fuser, and like that's like, how does, I don't know, because I have not been working for the company yet, and like I don't know how the licensing works on that. I'd like to know eventually, so I'll get back to y'all in a month or two here. But like, how the heck does that work? Like, does the artist give license for their song to be restreamed in a game as like if it's the content of the game? I'm really wondering about that, because that's my big question. Is like, is the Guitar Hero community who like plays custom songs or whatever, like, is that dead now? Is Dance Dance Revolution and Just Dance, or go all those games just dead on streaming now? That's
probably, but that like it's funny, because the flip side of this is what we've been talking about as like the discussion where like developers could charge you a license to even stream the game. Remember, like that was a conversation that was kind of heating up not that long ago too. for that, it kind of like, of course, the streamers take a hit, and streamers just got to find another game. But those games also, if they are interested in getting the audience that streaming brings about, they put themselves at a detriment because they put themselves in a situation where those games are not so easily streamed. Really, not, shouldn't be streamed at all. So it's kind of the same thing. Like if your game relies on the music, like unoriginal music, that they have to get a license for to even put in the game. Same thing, like, okay, now you're at a detriment because you don't get this free promo from all these streamers that can stream it because now they're at risk of having their whole channels taken down.
The tweet you're referring to, I actually had pulled up here because I kind of wanted to steer us in that direction. His name is Alex Hutchinson, and I think he was with the Google Stadia team. And
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah.
his tweet said, it was a spicy one. He said streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they used music they didn't pay for should be more worried by the fact that they're streaming games that they didn't pay for as well. It's all gone as soon as the publishers decide to enforce it, which I think is fair. It's kind of what we're saying.
It's true.
It's that is all truth. Then I think he threw in the part that really tilted everybody, where he said the real truth is, and when you start something with that, he should have left this in drafts.
Yeah.
When you have to say that people aren't ready for the real,
Can
can we just address that? The world, social media today, 2020, nobody's ready for the real truth. Whatever that means to you, if it is your real truth, nobody's ready for it. Keep that with your friends. He says the real truth is that streamers should be paying the developers and publishers for the games they stream. They should be buying the license like a real business and paying for the content they use. Chaos literally ensued. Google Stadia was trending for the first time since their announcement.
Oh my God.
It was
Like that's the thing. Like if you're on a platform, like I don't know who plays Stadia anymore. Like I don't know a single soul. Like, but like if you're on a dying ship, like you need to like not, because people will blow that back up and remind you how crap your platform is, and like like who is he to talk about knowing what a successful
Shut
business
up,
is and all that
Stadia
sort of stuff.
guy. Yeah.
But like
He's
Yeah, I
right
don't know.
though. He is absolutely right. If the publishers wanted
he's
to,
right.
they could shut it all down.
Right.
I don't think they ever would because it's become the #1 marketing tool, as we've seen. As
it is in their best interest
Yeah.
to allow streamers to do that, because then you're getting people who have never seen your game, but like, oh, Shroud's playing this, XQC's playing that, Ninja's playing this. Like, I'm gonna watch this thing now. Like, ooh, this looks kind of fun. I should get that.
Apex Legends, that game was built on a on a Twitch stunt. Like, it came out right around Super Bowl. They had $1 million and they paid Ninja instead of getting a commercial. They did it right, and that's what blew that game up. Wow, this show it went some directions, but let's land this bird so we can do some after show, hang out with some of the people who watch us live on twitch.tv/videogame_bang. You want to be sure to use that underscore because there's some knockoff who maybe we should DMCA ourselves here. But it was a great show. I appreciate your guys' specialty. I especially appreciate Kyle in navigating some trepidatious waters, since he's going to be with Harmonix here pretty soon, and we're talking all about DMCA stuff. I just want to say again, I'm proud of you, man. We've been friends for a few years now. You came to the Christmas parties and stuff, and I have a lot of respect for. I've gotten to play the games you've made. I've always been a Kyle fan, and I'm so glad that you got this opportunity. If you would have told me pick the perfect game developer for Kyle to work for, knowing your background as like a legitimate sound engineer, I think it's amazing that you landed this gig. So congratulations.
I appreciate that, man.
You want to plug anything before we wrap this boy?
I don't know yet. I think eventually, like once I do start, I'll probably have to like shut up about any and all like business regarding that, because I might be under like more legal constraints or whatever. So that's always the unfortunate thing, is as soon as I join a team of a game, I can't talk about that game at all anymore.
Yeah. We've been there.
I think most of us now know what that's like. So, but yeah, dude, it's we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for the future, and like it was nice to be able to talk like music and video games at the same time. That's like the apex of my knowledge base right there. So.
Well, that is a passion of ours. Curtis is a world-renowned musician, was ripped off by a band that I know everybody who's listening to this have heard of, but he takes it in stride, man. He's got that positive attitude. The dude, I love the Lebowski, but Curtis is the real dude. Thanks for joining us, man. Tell us where people could watch your content this week.
That's just your opinion, man.
I'll be your Walter anytime.
Okay, I'm with that. Donnie, you're out of your element.
Calmer than you are.
Shiva Shabbos. Yeah, man. You know, calmer than you are. Yeah, I'll be on Twitch again eventually. I've been so busy, man. I've been doing a lot of writing. And a lot of reading, but I will be back on Twitch soon, maybe even tomorrow. I'm gonna try to go on there and like do some of my writing while I'm on there, so I can do that. And I won't play anybody else's music. And hopefully people will be entertained by sitting up there and watching me type scripts and story ideas and stuff like that. But twitch.tv/Skipintosh, SKIPNTOSH, and I will read some comics, which is something that I can get taken down for, but I'll be breaking the law.
Judas Priest, go.
Hey, Lexie. See, Lexie knows more about music than Kyle does. This guy doesn't even know who freaking Stevie Nicks is. The girl who owns the song. You'll never live that one down, man.
I will never be able to.
That was embarrassing. Lexie, what you got going? I got to pop into your last stream. You did some League of Legends, and you're good. I was working at the same time, and then I hear double kill, triple kill, and then I hear you just going, "Wah!" Like you really went full like gamer on that stream. I was really proud. Tell us about your streams. Are you gonna keep doing it?
Of course. It's been busy. Like, it's that time of year, holidays and games. So but yeah, I intend to continue to do it and have some cool things up my sleeve for the future. But if you want to see me stream, because I do random streams, like at the moment I haven't like set everything up, but I do random streams. You can check them out at xSpaceMintyX. And my Twitter is LexieJPR. So, and also go check out our 2K accounts and make sure you give us some love.
Watch that PGA. Go to the PGA?
Yeah, check out that
Tour
PGA
2K.
Tour 2K Twitter.
Shooter McGavin. Check that out. That's the show, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back next week. For Kyle, Lexie, Skip, and Tosh, my name is Cory, saying you've just been banned.